Happy Wednesday, Fighter That Warriors. It's crazy today for me. It's almost like I have not seen anyone on my walk, and I just had the sunrise and started my day the way I love, which is all my thoughts my way. I'm not influenced by anyone. I don't start my day watching the news. And in my home gym, when I use it, there's always the news on, like in the morning. And the daily routine for me is to first find the remote, and then it's never working. So then I have to take out the batteries. I don't know how that works. My whole life never understood those, all those buttons that blink and then they don't and so on. So then finally one monitor is shut, then the other one pops up, and it's like it goes on. So then I have to take in the batteries again, and then I put it off. But either way, I get it my way, and then there's, don't want to have that around. It's so easy to suddenly start looking, and then you're glued in. So my policy is I don't want to bring into my life and mind what I don't think suits me. It's not gonna help me to make my life, like holding on to everyone's fears and despair and everything that is wrong. It's almost like we have this collective thing that we're supposed to just know everything all the time that could always be bad, so we're not allowed to be happy. Because if you're happy, then somehow you're not a good person, because you should know that other people are not able to be happy. No matter what you do, you're never gonna win that. What are you gonna do? Live your whole life like being sad on the behalf of people who might not even know you exist? Or can you just know that being grateful and thankful and kind and focus on yourself? And if you're not happy, how the heck are you gonna be able to make other people happy or want to take care of people? You won't, because you will be mad, you will be pissed. That's how we are as people. For instance, when I was a kid, I never was treated like a princess. When I got hurt, or I tore my knee, and I thought I was gonna have, oh, Pauline, poor you, and cuddle, here you have an ice cream. But that was not at all what I was raised on, so I didn't get anything. There was nothing special. So I got mad at everyone else who I felt they were princesses, and their mom were like, oh, poor you. Yeah, they treated them like they were little, oh, poor you. So that was a blessing in disguise. I didn't get the poor you victim treatment. It was more, hey, life isn't fair. You just handle it. I love that. I love it because I never became the person who's doing things for others to have appreciation. I don't work the way I do and why I have my heart in it because I want you to appreciate me. I'm not sitting here waiting for an appreciation. That is not at all my motivation. I do this for me. I have to do this. The world needs it. People are completely just close-minded, don't want to see the positivity, and I want to change that whole mentality, because I feel that everyone has forgotten that life and time waits for nobody. You can't use fitness life like a stopwatch. You see me on the sets, I start the timer and then we go. That is not how life happens in your life and mine. So it's crazy thinking. Why do I say crazy so much? It's kind of mind-blowing to just realize how many, because I observe, right, the tendency in my people, in my coaching, and in my where I see. And the most of the focus is on the past, everything that has not been the way you want. And that's what you bring into now. Now you want to talk about all that, so you are talking about that. And then your future is about how you can't because of your past, and that's what you bring to the future. It's like, I don't even know where to start, but here's the thing. You have made all your choices. Maybe not even aware of them. You're still here and have to accept that now you have to start from this day forward. But if you keep on bringing everything from the past, that's what's gonna be. I mean, it makes sense. Where you focus, that's what you're gonna end up with. What do you see me do? Exactly. What do I talk about? Exactly. What do I love? Exactly. What keeps me here? The love. Because if I could control my love and monitor, like moderate it, it wouldn't be real. And that is what I rely on. I just know that, I'm following my heart. I can't not, because if I don't like myself, and I cannot live with myself if I don't put myself first in the priority for what I do. Alright, so don't use life like a stopwatch where you come in with your interval motivation and then you stop and you forget that everything you do, everything you choose, everything you think, that's where you are now. And I'm not in any way saying that it's anyone's fault, but you have to remember, only you can make all your dreams and goals happen. Only you can influence your life towards what it is. Because you invite the world to influence you, and the sources you choose, your choice. How much of your attention goes to drama, to useless time on TV, to bicker with your friends who are not your friends? How much are you thinking about people who did this and that to you and should have known better, and you waiting for an apology? Like all that, you know what? You are making yourself a marionette puppy, like a little bag in the wind, because you cannot be happy on your own terms because you're always waiting for someone else to give it to you. So you don't know how to make yourself happy. So how do you see that coming? It's no different than if you don't know how to satisfy yourself sexually, in food, in training, in career. Who is gonna do it for you? And that brings me into this whole guilt eating thing. So we know that I put work and my love first. And in my life, friends have never been all that you all talk about when I talk about what we believe are friends. And we can define that in different things. For me, the people support what you're about, who want the same, similar as you, who do not try to sabotage you, who kind of have an allied frontier, or like aligned vision on what we want to accomplish. That is friends, that's community. What friends are not for, promoting my business, helping my business, believing in my concept, wanting to do what I do, have any interest, that's not my friend's role. My friends have no responsibility to agree with me, or to do fight or diet, or to train, or to even be in shape. Nothing. So it's pointless to ask people for, come on, do this, that, because friends are not who gonna support your business. I wish it was the case. Maybe it's just mine, but maybe it's just fitness and training. But for me, I don't have ever had friends to rely on to help me build what I love to do for people. So my clients are who push with me. My clients become what I consider friends, because that is what I want in a friend. Help me do what the world needs us to do. Don't waste my time trying to make me feel like I'm a bad person because this is what I love to do. It's almost like there has been a shame about wanting to work and to care about work, because people love to say that you're workaholic, or you have nothing else, you live for your life, or you live for your job. And they are people who are not people like me. They're workers who have a job to pay rent, and that's it. Well, I'm fighting for all I got to be able to do what I want to do for the world, and I'm putting everything at stake and risk, because I just have one life. You bet I'm gonna give it my all, because there's not 1 ounce of me who wants to have anything in me saying I didn't do this because, and then here we have that person didn't support me, or I didn't have this, or didn't do that, or I didn't have enough investment, blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. So I focus on all I want to achieve, and I refuse to back down until completely I could say there's no way. Like if I'm out on the street and I don't have a place to live and I have no more backup and there's nobody else helping, yeah, so be it. I mean, what else? What is the worst thing that can happen? Oh, then I'm going to feel embarrassed, ashamed. I mean, I can get a job and I can pay off my debt and just be basic. That was what before I came to America. I was basic. I wasn't a fitness star. I was a worker. I had my regular jobs and had my fitness life as a side hobby. I only wanted to become my career, right? My paycheck. But I was not at all how it was. I was student. I was working night shifts. I was training at the same time. I was having 3 jobs, restaurants and blackjack dealers and nursery, elderly care. So I know all about the hard work in that way. So I'm not scared of working harder in a way that I don't really want to, but I will do whatever I can because I'm gonna have it my way. Because I know that this is what the world needs. I love it and my people love it, my clients love it. So what is holding me back? Well, I just have to work to find the people who love to train, who love to take care of the body, who love to actually feel great and love to be happy. Because apparently not many people want to. Yeah, because I'm scary. Because what can 10 minutes of workout do for you? Right? Like, oh, no, can't do that. Too long. No, can't train like Pauline. You gotta train 2 hours a day, heavy and hard, even though your body says, hell no. So I'm just saying that what do you want? Do you know what you want out of your life? Because I know what I want. And sometimes I think that you have an idea of what you want, but that is not at all the whole thing, because you haven't really thought about it. That's the thing. It's time to think about what you want out of your life, including fitness life. And that comes to the guilt eating. I've had my share of having to come home to family and to eat, because if you don't, it's so much drama, it's so much offensive work that you do. How can you do this? I mean, grandma's pie, you cannot ever not have a cake, because then she's gonna be mad and you don't want to make her sad. And then here you go, you know what you're doing. It's like you're trying to, you have to eat for her to be happy, and your mom is pressuring you to do it because she doesn't want to have a fist, because she grew up, she was having to do what her mom do. And I'm gonna say this, I don't go with that. I have no interest in keeping up the way mothers and daughters and relationships and families keep each other in prisons like that. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter if she's an old lady or it's my mom, I still don't let them have their way, because it's my body, my life. I didn't ask for them to bring me here, right? So they have to understand. It's very hard to stand up for yourself around family, especially around, holidays. And now when you're going there and they just, it's almost like you don't want to stand up for your thing, because it's so much guilt and shame, and like you're the bad person because you have goals and you have to stand strong. But if you don't, who is suffering? You always end up with your choice anyway. So now you have the choice of, I'm either gonna stand up for myself and just say, yes, it's okay, you try to guilt me, I don't feel any guilt for what I have to do for myself. Or you're gonna eat it up and enjoy the cake, but it won't be enjoyable, because you're gonna think about how this all sabotages your mental evolution, your mindset, the way you have self-rapport. It really affects everything. But do you think your grandma care about that? No, because she's not aware. A lot of people guilt others they're not aware of what they're doing. They just do it because they sit there and want something out of you. They want the excuse, they want the I'm sorry, they want all that, and you're sitting there waiting for that. And it's never going to make you happy, because it doesn't last. It's the same thing as when you go and you think this is all you want, and now you achieve it, and then it was nothing you thought it was. Yeah, you put everything on a pedestal. This was all. Is you do that in people, you do that in food, you do it in training, you do it in body goals and all. Nothing will ever be all that in one thing. Boom. I remember in one of my relationships that it was so much pressure of having to go home to in-laws, and I didn't want to do it. And if I didn't behave, it was almost like I have to go in a prep course first. So the person knew that I was gonna, be all posh. I was not into that either because I don't want to have in-laws. I don't want to have a family. I don't want to do all this guilt eating that you guys are accepting because you love your family so much. I don't accept that because I know that means conditional love that they're giving on me. That if I don't listen, if you don't eat the cake for them, what happens? Grandma gets sad. So that's conditional, that if you don't eat for her to be happy that you loved her cake, you could just say, I love your cake, I don't have to eat it, I'm just happy that you can make it. If she can't be happy that you appreciate it, that's because she's selfish. Yes, there you go. She's just selfish. She wants to be needed and appreciated and be the perfect grandma. She has the same stupid human ego as everyone else. Just because she's old doesn't make her an angel. She's not aware. But you could stand up for yourself. Hey, I need to take care of my health. If I don't change, this insulin resistance I keep on saying is my diagnosis, is what I can fix with healthy eating and losing the fat that I keep because I'm not consistent. I'm not unconditionally loving myself. I'm just a flake. Because here's the thing, you could completely change that because insulin resistance is a matter of you giving your body the food it doesn't need, and you have now gained weight, and that is not good for your body. The insulin, the hormone, is the villain here, and it's not. It just has to help you when you're eating like an idiot for yourself. Sugaring up and spiking and not thinking about your insulin and your pancreas. So nobody seems to want to hear this, but here you go again. If you change the way you live and eat, insulin resistance is gone. Do you want to be medicated and be a victim? Or do you want to be educated about this is what you choose? It's the same thing as having high blood pressure when you're obese and you don't do anything about it. It's a choice. You're going to end up with it. That's just good to know. So when you have this guilt eating of other people, think about how after you've eaten it, then they're going to have a new thing that they want you to do. When is it going to stop? And if you keep on having every time it's social gathering, you just quit on the way you live your life because it's easier. It's easier to be convenient than just follow the herd. Then of course you're not going to have it in you to stay strong because you're not bringing your own food, you don't stand up for your lifestyle, you're living halfway with what you don't want to be part of. So of course you're never going to be what you want to be because you're not focusing on it. You are looking all over and you're comparing with other people. You bring everything about other people, about how they do this. You want to discuss what other people do. You're always curious about things that don't matter. But you always forget the big picture and things you need to do. So all the focus is on distraction, focus on people, how they're doing this and that. And then I wonder, when are you going to focus on what you are doing? So what I'm doing for myself that makes me happy is I follow my heart, which means I am not in a relationship that I don't want to be in because I am one with myself and it's the best. That way I get the most out of my lifetime focusing on what I love to do for myself. But the more I free up from having this kind of sacrificing for people who are not helping me, they're just family, friends, those people we just talk about. The typical grandmas, in-laws, mothers, stepdads, all the people who should just know that, let you be. But they won't because they have an access to you. So stop giving people access to have a say about what you want to do. So what I do is when I wake up and I meditate, I'm so happy right away because I make that. I start with pray. I start to gratitude. I start to listing everything that I love just to make sure that I start on the right energy. And then my whole life is to keep that up. And in what I do is I love what I have in my daily life, what I eat. Yesterday I had this chicken poultry seasoning that I just in the room I had like biggest, and it was like this combination with the stir-fried cabbage and the kabocha and the Parmesan cheese. I have to give you that in the FD8. But anyway, I love that I can eat, that I found a way to eat up everything, So it's like if my whole interest was to find a way to eat like a pig, and that was my paradise fantasy to make true. I made it happen because it's all about perception. For me, I feel like I hit the $1 million. I got to have the body and have the food, That's how I feel. That's how I feel incredibly grateful and so happy that I stuck to it. I didn't give up because it was tough. You think it was the name Fighter, right? Like, yeah. It is so. So those two things are what I want in my life. That is why I'm focused on them. And then I love my cat, and I love learning, and I love my meditation, and I love my listening to wise minds, and I love music, and I love that I go and see the sunrise and the sunset every day. But if I had people around in my life every day like you guys most have, I would have to compromise because that's what you do. But you don't have to compromise with yourself. So when you wonder why you're not hanging on, or why you're not focused, why you not do it, I believe that if you look at how you choose, that you're not allowing yourself to have something that is designed to be out of pleasure. It's not just for function. If you don't learn to incorporate and how to train for it, because it is really in training behavior. If you don't know how to do that, to train yourself, then you need help. Well, that's why I'm a coach. But it really requires you to want to be changing yourself and to be it from now, because you have to learn this. You know how I say that, I live today according to how I want to wake up tomorrow. That's the way you make sure that you stay on track. If you can keep on forgetting, or you're checking out from the challenge communities all the time, and then you come back a little later and you always have the same thing. Oh, I've been missing, or I forgot some time, or it just points to the fact that you are not prioritizing this, because if you do, you would be like me, can't stop thinking about it, and you become what you think the most of. Because that thought is the first step to change. To the thought is the process, and then that becomes what we are. And if you focus on everything that is what you kind of don't want to do, you see, like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You see, the focus is all about all that stuff you say you don't want. That's what you focus on. It's so scary and like kind of dangerous to just think that if you don't pay attention, you can really just kind of be in a negative train down road all your life and not even realizing. You might think you're all positive, but you're never getting stuck. You're never getting out of the stuck, and you're always feeling like waiting for being happy. And that's the big problem, waiting for it, because you have to learn to be happy in the doing, what I love, which is, if you want to change your body, you have to start changing the way you live. That means you have to incorporate and just unconditionally embrace what you need to do, and not cherry pick what you're in the mood to do. You gotta give it your whole heart and focus and attention to have it, because otherwise you are just never committing. It's like you're not really sure, so you're not gonna give it your all. And if you're not giving it your all, you're not gonna get anything out of it at all. And that's what you choose. So no guilt eating for people because it's not making you a better person. You are not a bad person for saying no. You are not gonna make the world better because your grandma gets you to eat her pie. Whatever you need to do, just pretend you ate it, go and have another room, put it in the flower. I'm just saying, you do not have a responsibility to eat what you don't want to eat for other people. Does not matter who it is. You know how tough I am on my closest ones? I say I don't have time in my life to put on bickering and debating with you who are not you're not in a relationship with me, like a close relationship. You bet if I wanted to have fights and bicker and compromise for having a companion, I would, but I don't, because it's too much. Like, I really love to be a loner, and I'm so happy that I just want it that way. And for you who are not, it's so important to understand that you need to learn who you are first before you commit to someone else, because otherwise you're never going to be able to be yourself in that relationship. And how is that going to affect you? If you're signing up for something you want to be and then you're not it, then you're in trouble. You're not going to be happy. So then you see how it's so important to know what you want and to focus on that, and to not compromise with people just because you want to be loved, just because you want to be appreciated. Don't do it for yourself, and you don't have to compromise. Love yourself, stand up for yourself, focus for yourself. Don't do it for the world, don't do it to be appreciated, don't do it to have people being grateful for you. Do it because this is what you need to do. That's how I do it. So anyway, today I'm excited because I'm gonna train. I'm gonna film my warm-up workouts, beginner workouts, and I'm so sore everywhere. I need recovery workouts. So this is what I love, that in my training, every workout is a blessing, and every workout is a bliss, because I know it's not a given for me to have a body to train and to work. So you bet I am so grateful. And every time I train and record it, I do it because I know how hard it is to keep on going, how it can be ridiculously crazy, so stupid feeling of, I know I have to do it, I know I want to do it, but I just don't know how to do it. Yes, action paralysis. That's why I take you, I lead you, and you follow.